What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, Duel commentary. We have a match with no shut-alls. I'm flabbergasted, honestly. That almost never happens on DN. We have Snake Wings, 1505. I feel like I played him a while ago and he 2-0'd me with with Ms. Mermail. Like I had really bad beats. I had a favorable matchup too, and he 2-0'd me. And Daedora, 1616. You'll be seeing Daedora on this channel multiple times just because he's playing Madolche. Right now it's not looking good for him. His opponent, oh well, I guess if you have the Max C, it depends if you can survive. I'm not sure if Daedora can survive, honestly. Anyways, so Snake Wings opened up presumably with Teus, and then he went, I believe he searched out Gundy. I mean, that makes sense how the Gundy got there. And looks like he normal summoned Undyne, dropped a Dragoons in there, and then he went for, he has a title in there too. Wait a minute, why isn't he just going for game? Does he not know what the word YOLO means? Like I completely get that that he's launching the Undyne to attack twice with Megalo because you just do more damage that way. That's 48 that's 48 attack power instead of 36. And then obviously you can attack with the 17 of Teus, but I mean if you have title in there, that puts your opponent like at 300 life points. I don't know, that seems pretty good to me. So he tries to go Angeli, and she gets met with Book of Moon. A card that kind of see in some decks, kind of don't. You know, I'm kind of surprised that more like Shadow players don't run Book of Moon, considering, you know, it's like it makes it so that you can like reset your Shadows. I mean, basically, I guess they feel like that's not really a major problem. All right, so looks like he's going to attack the Angeli and then just try and attack twice. That gets flipped back. Maybe he has Mirror Force, which still wouldn't save him because Lindy would trigger, and he also has Spear. Oh, okay. Phoenix Chain, and then comes Spear, and he'll just attack for game. Oh, that was game 2. Okay, fair enough. There were safer ways that Snake Wings could have did that play, but the way that he did it was minimal risk. I mean, you could have argued that he could have went into Draco Sack and attempted to pop the face down, knowing that he still had Spear, plus I'm pretty sure I seen a title in that graveyard. So I just didn't see any way that Daedora was getting around that. He took so much damage during his first turn, it was like, get blown out. Get what I'm saying? Alright, so Mermail are a cool deck. I just think that there are certain decks, the deck doesn't necessarily have to get power creeped to not be effective anymore. There are certain decks where what your deck does best just might not work against some of the top decks. Like what Mermail does just doesn't work. Like what Mermail used to do is Mermail used to just like, one of the best things about the deck was the fact that Marksman just was great. Marksman would pick apart your back row, stuff like Bottomless Trap Hole and a whole bunch of other cards that you wanted to set. And Marksman was really, really good at what it did. And then you had the in-phase spears, which were really nice because there were just a lot of things that Mermail could do. You could use you could discard Marksman in the damage step so your opponent couldn't chain whatever the hell you were targeting. I just feel like, and of course, Marksman on monsters, like, it was the whole reason why Yugioh used to get shit on by that deck. You set armor and be like, oh, okay, normal summon Pike, pop your guy with Marksman, or summon Undyne, pop your guy with Marksman from the deck. But now it's like Shadows will set and it's like, oh, you blow my monster up? Okay, I'll search another one. Oh, you blow my monster up? Okay, I'll MST you. You get what I'm saying? Like, they get blown up and they don't care. He's going to attack a face down. If that's Lindy, I don't know about that. I guess he figures he has to deal with Lindy sometime or another, right? He opts to get Megalo in defense. Obviously thinking, hey, what if he hits me with instant fusion? I don't want to get my guy 101. Although I guess he would still just castle it back, but still. I feel like 101 is so underappreciated now. I kept checking the prices because I thought the price was like had plummeted, but it's still like $25. I kind of feel like nobody's running 101 anymore. You see Megalo is met with Phoenix Chain, and Phoenix Chain is MST'd. If I'm Daedora, I'm actually happy about that. I don't think I would have even used Phoenix Chain on Megalo, honestly. So if I'm Daedora, I'm perfectly glad to exchange card advantage. She should go back to the deck, if I'm not mistaken. And Because I mean, what else can you do with the Megalo? I mean, my concern is your back row, not the Megalo. If I get my ideal setup, I know that I'm pretty good. So you see an end phase MST on Spear. Obviously, you couldn't activate it because he just set it. And he has Angeli. There's that Trap Stun. Trap Stun seems like it's pretty good. And I'm not going to be totally surprised if he goes into Hoot Cake plus Messenger Lotto, but then he activates Instant Fusion. I don't want to completely commit to saying that he has Instant Fusion, but I'm kind of feeling like he might have an Instant Fusion. Oh, DD Crow. That was bad. One thing I used to do a lot before is I used to flip Trap Stun and then try and go off. But I kind of cooled it on that. I kind of started doing that less. Like I feel like the only card that you can really, like, I want to get 1-for-1s out of my Trap Stuns basically and still get my lockdown. I kind of feel like because of evac and, you know, some of the things that people do with that card, I kind of feel like the only thing that really stops a Trap Stun, a pre-active Trap Stun, is really like a Solemn Warning. You get what I'm saying? So, and it's not often that your opponent has like 2 chainable cards. Oh, okay, so he had Spell Striker. That's what it was. I knew he had something. I knew he had something outside of I felt like he didn't just have the Messenger Lotto play. Like, it wouldn't make sense to me for him just to go Messenger Lotto and just kind of end on that. So he goes for Zen Mains. Why not? Because Zen Mains can just crash and he can get rid of the Megalo. He goes Zen Mains Crash. And he's still going to be in a pretty decent position because I feel like Snake Wings might not have any monsters. I mean, one of his spears got blasted, so you can't really put him on a second spear. And it looks like he just passed turn, and yeah, I think he has a monster shortage right now. And wow, Daedora has another Hoot Cake. And that immediately forces Snake Wings to activate evac, and you just know that he wanted to use evac on Zen Mains, but that's not an option. He obviously has to be thinking, okay, if I let the Hoot Cake go, I'm going to be facing Messenger Lotto plus, I'm obviously going to be facing Messenger Lotto plus Hoot Cake, and if he gets Chateau, that's a ton of damage I'll be taking. I mean, I think one of those guys is 21, the other is 2k, that's 41, plus 15, what are we looking at, 5,600? I mean, yeah, he didn't want to take 5,600 that turn. He'd have been sitting at 2,400 life points. Effectively, well, not eliminating Soul Charge from play, but still. I just don't think he wanted to take that much damage. Now, he summons Pike. It doesn't matter what he discards. Daedora is still at advantage. He doesn't discard anything. I just said that he would still be at advantage simply because he can't kill the Zen Mains. And he's almost certainly going to lose his back row. Daedora doesn't care about Pike. Oh, activates Call of the Haunted. Now, whatever he summons needs to be really important. Now, if he gets Lindy, that could do some things for him. Alright, well, I guess that's not going to happen. He activates Solemn Warning on the Call of the Haunted. So now, instead of the back row being destroyed, he'll probably go back and try and kill the Pike, which would open the field up. I mean, it'd give him a completely, like, it'd give him an open field to just attack into. And it looks like that's what he's going to have. Now, you wonder if Snake Wings has the DD Crow again, or if he has a Fat Veiler, Max C. If he Max C'd me, I'd pretty much just keep going off. I wouldn't care at all. If I've got like an Instant Fusion or something, I'm going for game. Alright, so it goes Messenger Lotto. I think he's going Chateau. Just because Chateau and Ticket kind of do the same thing in this situation, but Chateau gives you more damage, so why not go for Chateau? He plays the Chateau. I don't think he has any Madolche. Oh, he has the Hoot Cake. Okay, yeah, my mistake. He's got that one Hoot Cake in there. And you see he's going to attack for 15, 2k, and then 21. Leaving Snake Wings with practically no life points. So, Soul Charge is no longer a viable threat. And I don't know. I feel like Madolche are if you're going to run an anti-meta deck, he activates Dark Hole, which would essentially put the 2 monsters back in his hand, and then it would actually kill the Zemains. And then Snakewing scoops it up. He knows that he obviously has no way of stopping the Madolche, Messenger Lotto, and the Hoot Cake from coming out next turn. Not to mention he'd be able to activate the Hoot Cake because of Zemains. Yeah, those two guys aren't doing much, especially if he has an evac device. I feel like Madolche and Evil Swarm. I feel like those are the de facto best anti-meta decks if you don't want to run like the big three, just because of their matchup versus, well, Evil Swarm has a great matchup versus Shaddoll, and just because of what Madolche can do as far as sending stuff back, and the fact that they can't really super poly, you. Like, aren't all Madolches like Earth and shit? So, I mean, until the new one comes out and new challengers, they really don't have a way of like summoning that. They don't have a way of effectively using super poly against you. At least without, they can't take your monsters. Anyways, thank you guys for watching as always.